I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands
one nation, under God,
under God, indivisible,
liberty
with
and justice for all.
justice for all.
Okay, it's September 8th, 2025 at 7:01. I'm Ed Herman, site vice chair, and call the meeting to order. We have in attendance Ed Pianalto, mayor, Roger Lull, Josh Ackerman, and Jesse Garrettson, chairman on Zoom.
Henry, stop. He's talking.
Okay, do we have any public comments?
I have not received any, no.
Okay, no public comments. This is gonna be a short meeting. We really don't have a whole lot on the agenda, so that'll be a first. Okay. Under new business, discuss and a vote to approve the minutes of the August 11th, 2025 zoning board meeting. Does anybody have any corrections on the minutes?
This is Ed, I do not.
I do not either. Okay, I guess, yeah, motion to accept the minutes as written.
Yeah, I have no corrections either.
Okay,
Yes, you okay?
Jesse, are you okay on the minutes?
Hold on. You're muted, Jesse James.
See, you're smiling, but you can't hear.
Thumbs up.
Sign language.
Is he unmuted up?
No,
No? Oh,
not yet.
Let's see if Jared can get him.
He muted himself.
Now, can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can.
Okay. At the top of the second page, continued from the front page with clarification that the culvert is responsibility of the town or the county. My understanding, it was the responsibility, the addition was the responsibility of the county, that the city didn't have any responsibility of the county property. That's the extension up there on Parker's driveway.
Yes.
I do believe that is correct, Justin. The town had no responsibility on that point.
Well, that's my understanding, but that's not the way I read the printed minutes.
I believe it's actually the responsibility of the county or the property.
Well, mine reads the responsibility of the town or the county. That the
I
culvert
agree.
is the responsibility.
That's what it reads, but I believe the culvert was the responsibility of the county or the property.
Yes, I'm in agreement with that, Mr. Pianalto. That's my only addition or correction to the minutes as printed.
So Ed, did that already go to the board of trustees to?
Yes, it did. And all it was a letter that we provided to Parkers that the town was okay with them accessing across the town property.
Is everyone good with that? Get a motion to approve the minutes.
This is it. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as corrected for the August 11th meeting.
This is Josh, I second. Okay, we're gonna move on to bullet point, number 2, discuss with possible action anonymous
I want
complaint.
to vote. I want to vote on it, Mr. Chairman. We have a motion, a second, and no vote to my knowledge.
For the minute.
Oh, we got
For
a
the minute.
vote. Oh, I'm sorry.
He made a motion to accept and I second it.
Yeah,
All in favor?
all in favor, say aye.
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 5-0 approval.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself. Okay, we're moving on to the complaint, the anonymous complaint about Jake Schellenberg's sign at the end of town. And from what I've ascertained from Jesse Garrettson and Ed Pianalto, that the sign was going to be moved and the square footage of it was going to be reduced. Is that correct, Ed?
That is, I think Jesse had further discussion with Jake.
Yes. Yes, he agreed to move the sign totally on his property. I believe it was like 3 foot originally on the street right away. And to order a new sign, reducing it to 50 square feet instead of the 72 that's existing at the time I was there with him a week ago.
So there needs to be clarification on the complaint. The complaint was an off-premises sign on the complaint. Mr. Schellenberg provided, note to Jesse, and I got a copy of it as well, a lease agreement between 10 Main Street and the Stumbling Moose Lodge. A lease agreement that actually was in effect June something of 2024, which actually makes that property at 10 Main Street part of the business property as well. So it's really not an off-premises sign. It would be considered an on-premise sign. And then according to the code, the on-premise sign, I don't remember off the top of my head, I believe it's 50 square feet. I believe. And the current sign does not meet that. That's where Jesse is saying he agreed to order a smaller sign.
I agree, Mr. Pianalto.
Did Mr. Schellenberg have a date as when he was going to have this amended?
Well, yes, the move happened right away, but I don't have a clue when his printing shop is going to have a new one for him.
It's up to the board what you want to do. Take your public comments.
We have public comments.
Yes, this is Chris. I just wondered if you could read the complaint. Was it specific to that one sign?
I believe it is.
There's more than there's another thing on the bottom that says. Other off-premise signs, Stumbling Moose is located at the upper entrance to town and at 2nd and State Street. That's the only other thing that's mentioned.
So Jesse, did you speak with Jake about the sign at his house?
No, the complaint that I saw that was anonymous just mentioned 10 Main Street. So is there 2 complaints?
It's the same complaint. It just says the upper entrance to town and at 2nd and State. Well, 2nd.
I think they meant
Oh.
1st and State.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's 2nd. That's an error.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Well, somehow or another, I was not aware that the anonymous complaint included the one at the top of town. So I may have fallen short somewhere.
The other thing, Stacy, did you notify Jake of the complaint? Because I know in the document that you were supposed to send him a letter or an email.
No, I just forwarded that onto the board.
I think it's under section 19. Has to be certified letter,
So we can't.
return receipt and or electronic. See what it says. Is it 19? Oh, and it says and by electronic in addition to return receipt certified. So, do we need to do that first before?
I think if he's not notified, I don't think we can really.
Officially, yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Okay.
And where that's in the zoning.
Yeah, section
okay.
19B.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you pointing that out.
So this is Ed, I'm gonna give you my opinion. No one asked for it, but I'm gonna give it anyway. Since there was the portion of Second and State Street. I do know Jesse said that he talked to Jake about it. At least at the 10 State Street, 10 Main Street property. It doesn't sound like Jesse, I know I didn't talk to him about Second and State. Because when I read it, I read Second and Main Street, and it's still State, obviously. But I think that rather than sending a certified letter, I think it would be appropriate if Jesse would want to talk to him about the sign at Second and State. In addition, I'm gonna guess, I think that's the sign that's on the trailer on Second and State, I believe.
It's in First and State.
I'm
Yes, you're
sorry,
right. You're
First
correct.
and
Yep.
State.
Yep.
And that
Can
would
just-
be, that would be
As-
considered an off-premise sign.
Question, what's this second sign on Second and State? I'm not aware of any Stumbling Moose sign on Second and State.
It's actually First and State.
Okay, first, yes, there is a trailer, or has been at least. I don't recall that one being mentioned in the complaint either.
First and State was not mentioned. It's Second and State is what's in the complaint.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That, and again, I'm gonna give my opinion. That is the issue with anonymous complaints, when you don't know who submits it. We're guessing at what they're saying and what they mean, because we can't go to them and ask them, okay, what are you talking about at Second and State? So now we're presuming as to where the issue is. Located at the upper entrance to town, is that? I don't know, is that the upper entrance as in coming in on 10th and Main, or is that it coming in off Cumberland?
I think it's coming off Cumberland,
Probably is off of Upland.
but it's not stated, but yes. I think so.
That's not clear.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we've dealt with the complaint, anonymous complaint, that as I understood. Now, the rest of the story, I don't think is properly documented and or presented for us to act properly on it.
You should know. You know what the rules are.
I don't know who this is.
Who made the last statement? Well, in any case, are we all in agreement to send out the certified letter?
I think it says certified letter or email
Or
with read receipt. So
Yeah.
I would just say, send out the email with read receipt. And then that would give the person time that submitted this to correct second and state or what they mean by upper entrance to town.
And Jesse, when you get back, you'll approach Mr. Schellenberg with the other First Street sign.
Well, when I see a proper complaint, yes, I would love to act on it.
Okay. Do we need to table this next meeting?
And you can table it. Jesse says that he's addressed what he can determine in the complaint with Jake.
Yeah, I'm not sure we need to table it, but we need a resolution on it. You want to just put it on the agenda for next meeting?
I think that would be a good thing to do. And then at least you can inform Jake of the complaint. And then that gives somebody time to fix this or rescind it if needed.
So we need to have a motion to put it on the agenda.
This is Josh. I put in a motion to put this on the agenda for next meeting.
Jess will second it.
Okay, so I'll consider this matter closed until next meeting.
You need to take a vote.
Oh, and take a vote. All in favor of moving the to the next putting it on the agenda for next meeting. Roger. In favor of
I am in favor. Aye.
Roger?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're not gonna come up with anything, at the next meeting that's any more appropriate than what we have now. Until we hear from an attorney or something. These billboard sort of signs. Yeah. In the business district are somewhat accepted. Anything in residential is gonna require permits or something else. Now, yeah, waving your flag that you love, the business in town is one thing. So I understand why this complaint was made. Now, what the town wants to do about it, I'm not sure how we fit this into our ordinances. Maybe Jesse can, is a permit necessary here for this size sign? And if so, has it been issued?
No, I don't know. Did Mr. Schellenberg,
I don't think it's a
did
matter
he,
of
did he
permit.
file a permit for that?
It's a matter of the business district has to be under 50 square feet. So that's been addressed in the first part. The second part of the complaint is 2 residential areas. And then that would go to a non-conforming off-premise sign, which is a smaller size. So there's written rules for that.
But he still needs a permit, is that?
I don't think needs to be a permit. It just needs to fit within the guidelines.
So are these permanent signs? What we would put on a building, or is this just advertisement? And if it's advertisement, then people just put up advertisement in dots and it's.
So, to kind of answer your question from what I see in the zoning code, Roger,
Okay,
is all 3 of these signs apparently I don't know about the one at First and State, but I believe all three of them are banners. Not painted, not permanent, so I would believe that they were temporary. But it does come into play on premises and off premises, which is pretty, well, it is defined in the zoning code. I think the part of the issue we're into is there's some, on this particular complaint, there's some misunderstanding about the upper interest of town of Second and State Street, and I don't think either one of those two locations were discussed with Jake. And as per the code, the zoning code, he should have been informed by a certified letter of return receipt on an email. But I think the complaint is not very clear on the second part. Of the first part is absolutely clear on that, at the coming into town. But it does fall under, it was put in the complaint as an off-premises sign. In reality, he has a lease agreement between the two properties that makes it an on-premise sign. We're still back to the, you have a motion and a second. So we need a vote on it if you want to put it on the next meeting.
Well, I'll vote to put it on the next meeting. I just want some clarity. We were told what we should be digging into. We now and then to give the town council some sort of a recommendation.
Jesse James votes yes to table it to the next meeting, and hopefully we get some more information that's correct and adequately put on the proper form.
Ed Herman, I'll vote yes as well.
This is Adam, yes.
So we have a 5-0. All right, move on to the next bullet point. Discuss with possible action on zoning code provisional revisions and review zoning code revisions. And I spoke with Jesse before the meeting. And I don't know how many more times we're gonna go over this. I know that we were gonna put the new building code on Appendix A and then submit it to Board of Trustees.
So when I open this file, it is a PDF file. Therefore, I cannot modify it. I do not have the Word file, so I believe Stacy should have it.
Yeah.
On the town computer. So that needs to be in Appendix A at the end, page 21. Under number 1, that needs to read that full 1, 2, and 3 needs to be you can completely rewritten to, let's see, I can get it off the top of my head, but instead of saying the footer is 97 Uniform Building Code, foundation is 97 Building Code, framing 97 Building Code, it should just read the town of Pitkin adopts the 2018 International Residential Code IRC 2018. Is that the 2018 includes footers, foundation, framing, and does have a final inspection in it as well. Unless the board wants to keep it as footer, foundation, framing, and final, but specify 2018 International Residential Code. it's redundant, in my opinion. So it's up to the board how you want to spell that out.
The zoning board or the board of trustees?
Zoning. And then as far as the rest of the zoning code, I thought it was appropriate to let Josh weigh in on it after he saw the changes in the zoning code, since he was a new zoning board member.
Yeah, I thought everything looked good. I had a question on page 17, section 28. I don't know if we're still waiting for our attorney, but maybe we could put some comments in there or complete that. This complaint can be submitted by any resident or property owner of the town of Pitkin, and then it says ask attorney. Just might want to erase that, or if we're gonna clarify that.
So we can do it a couple of ways. Now that we have a town attorney, we can leave it the way it's written in green, and the board of trustees will ask the town attorney. Because we have to make the approval for the recommendation of the zoning board, and the board of trustees are gonna look at each one of the changes and either approve them or change them or not approve them. And this is one that we can bring up to the town.
Okay. Yeah, I like the way it was written. And then the only other one I had is page 19, section 24, under complaints. And just to clarify in green what we're gonna have that state. Is that any person agree? There's again, the attorney could put some language into that. Yeah, not that it's bad, just like I was going to keep it back.
Please go back and when we discuss that, that's the way it was written. That's what the question was.
I think it's fine the way it's written. I was just calling it out just to make sure. Okay. Everything else looked good.
Stacy has a.
Jesse James has a few inputs when you get ready.
Go ahead, Jess.
Okay, starting right off the bat, numbering system on our pages. When you look at the index, it says state purpose, and purpose is definitely on what is numbered as page 4. So do we need to start the Town of Pitkin Zoning Code 2025 as page 1, and then the index is 2 and 3 to line up with 4. Then we go on, and in the index, the first 3 need to be numbered until you get to 4. And then at the bottom of the page, duties and powers is actually on page 15, not 14. Minor correction. And then appeals at the bottom of page 2, or the first table of contents, appeals should be 16 instead of 15. And the top of the second page of table of contents, violations, section 20, ought to be 17 instead of 16. And then section 25 ought to be page 20 instead of 19. Just minor roadmap.
You're referencing the table of content.
Pardon?
You're referencing the table of contents?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I know and this is actually with Sarah, we discussed this, that the table of contents will have to be renumbered once we take all the greens out and make the changes. That will have to be renumbered because it's going to shift some pages throughout the whole thing.
Yes, I agree. But as printed today, those changes need to be paid attention to. Just for simplicity of finding ourselves with both hands. And then on the current page 14, and it is section on signage. The first paragraph, we're speaking about it being a 3-year term now on a building permit instead of 2. But I don't see where it says what we're going to do at the end of 3 years. Does it expire, or can they give us a written statement as to what's transpired and what they expect to do in the future at the end of 3 years, or what's our follow-up at the end of 3 years?
Jesse, tell me what page, specifically, what page are you on?
I'm on page 14, the top paragraph.
After it's
All right.
your term.
Top 3 lines are crossed out.
Yep.
And then 6 and 7 lines are highlighted. And it goes, a building permit is valid for 3 years from the date of issuance and will expire after 3 years. The date of expiration can be extended once per annum upon payment of a renewal fee if there has been no changes to the original permit design or specifications. Changes in footprint, increased square footage, and alternate drip lines required a new permit. And expired permit notifications will be sent to the responsible person fee United States Postal Service, return receipt required. But what are we going to send to them a notification? You need to give us an update, or your original building permit has expired. What are we going to send them in that certified letter? Or do you just want the council, the trustees, to visit with the attorney and see what they want to spell out in it?
Yes, Jesse, I agree with you. And it doesn't say whether you renew for another 3 years or whether you're a renewal annually. It insinuates that it's a per annum renewal, but I'm not real. You're never going to convince anybody to do this. If they got a permit to build a house, they're going to keep building. They're going to keep using the subcontractors and everyone lined up to do this work, irregardless if your permit expires or not. The bank is going to require this building to be finished. Town of Pitkin is not going to stand in their way. That's it. End of story on that.
Well, I think in order not to have a problem in understanding, we need to be just a little bit more specific on what we're going to do and what we're going to allow. In the past, our 2 years termination, all they had to do was send us an update and when they expected to complete it, which I thought was fulfilling the requirement of the end of the 2 years. But this just says can be extended once per annum upon payment of a renewal fee if there have been no changes to the original permitted design or specifications. Yes, but how do we get them to ask for that renewal fee? Do we just give it to it automatically? So if that's the case, we need to change that 3 years to 4 or 7 or 10, however many years it takes for a person building his own home to get it completed. I don't know if I'm getting my point across or not, but I don't want to be sarcastic, but we ran into those problems in the past.
Kind of going back to our original discussion on it, is we extended it from 2 years with a letter once a year, letting us know where it was at. We extended from that to 3 years, and it does expire. but it can be extended once per annum upon payment of renewal fee. If there's no changes in the original permit. So maybe for clarification, last sentence, expired permit notification will be sent to responsible person via USPS courtesy required, indicating that their permit has expired and they can renew it once per annum with payment of the renewal, provided there's no changes to the specification. Basically take that second sentence, actually take the first two sentences and put that after your expired notification. Then the USPS return receipt required, stating what is in the ordinance right now.
If your permit expires, your building inspector no longer has permission to go onto the property. You will not be obligated to go onto it and enforce expired building. Is that correct? So who's gonna go on to this property illegally, determine whether the building is finished or not, and start trying to enforce the close down building process?
Back to your comment, bank is not gonna loan the money on a completed project if it hasn't been inspected. If it hasn't been inspected, then they're gonna have a tough time getting a certificate of occupancy for insurance and bank reasons. And building permits in this state do expire. You can look at Gunnison County, and they do expire, and they will not let them proceed with the construction.
Well, maybe this should say something about the final inspection. If that's, what's the problem here? No final inspection, occupancy permit, I'm not even sure we've ever issued one. Can you talk to Tom about that?
He does.
I'm just saying, why can't we hold people accountable? Like 3 years is plenty. And if it takes longer than 3 years, then they renew it every year. I mean, I don't understand why somebody would let it not renew. If you're building a house and you're investing all this time, if it's as simple as just submitting to the town, I'm not making any changes on my property and I get to renew my. I think we should hold people responsible. I don't think that's that big of a ask of people.
Well, here in the real.
Well, one of my comments that we had problem enforcing even is on page 13 of H, the first line that goes over the top 3 lines on page 14 that we have marked through. And that addressed what we're going to do if it's not completed in 2 years back then. So I'm wondering if we need something similar to that at 3 years, right ahead of it being extended once per annum upon paying of a renewal fee if they have been no changes to the original permit designed or specified. Just change that sentence, those 4 lines that we crossed out, change it to 3 years instead of 2 years, and then we know what we're going to send them and what we're going to ask.
On this point, I think they're saying that for 3 years. And then if it's not done in 3 years, they can just submit for another year for a building permit. And if they didn't get done in year 4, they could submit for another building permit in year 5. So I think in this, the way it's written now, we're actually being kinder than before. And to your point, if something comes up in those 3 years, you can't finish your house, then you just submit and get an extra year. It's just my opinion, but maybe adding some language to it would be good.
Well, that's something I'd like for the attorney to address. And if that's happy, I have one more comment on attorney. Gotta find it now the way I've been shuffling through. Did I touch something? Are you kids on the zoning board hearing me?
Yep,
Yep.
Well, my screen went back to a mountain.
we can see you.
Well, that is silly. I can't find, I have it marked and it's printed on this rough draft. And the word attorney is used. Well, I'm sorry, gentlemen and
Is it,
clerk.
is it page 17, section 20A?
Yes, it's section 20, paragraph A, but I don't have the page.
Page 17.
Yes, thank you. See that word attorney there in the highlighted area? I think that definitely needs to be brought to the attention of the trustees that they get our attorney to give us some input on it. Jared, can you find them again, please? Jared says I've lost your video
You're
part.
okay. They see you
Okay.
and they hear you.
Okay, that makes me happy. And I'm to the place that I would even make a motion about what to do with this bullet point number 3 under new business. Would somebody talk to see if I'm even there? Sure, I think. Oh, there you are.
Yep, we hear you. Did we figure out what we're gonna put in appendix A for number 1 for town inspections? You said we're going to 2021,
2018.
2018. Okay.
I believe in our last meeting last month, we were highly pushing for the 2018 UBC.
The 2018 International Residential Code, IRC.
Okay, all right, residential, okay, yes, but the 2018 draft.
So is there any way we can approve the zoning code revisions in entirety, except for the 2 bullet points that we wanted to mention to the lawyer? Is there any way that we can approve it and then just use those 2 bullet points?
So we can approve it the way it currently is with the change on the inspections. Utilizing the 2018 International Residential Building Codes. As long as that's changed in there, we can approve it the way it is. To recommend these changes to the Board of Trustees. And then the Board of Trustees is going to review each one of these items. And the ones that need to go to the attorney will be addressed with the attorney on each one. There may be some additional ones, I don't know right off, but there could be some additional points in the zoning code that the Board of Trustees might ask the town attorney clarification on.
So then I make a motion that we approve the zoning code revisions as stated and as discussed.
This is it, and I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. You get Jess's aye?
Yes. We got Jess's aye.
I'm gonna abstain, which I'm assuming is no, but I would like more time to go over this stuff.
You got 4 yeses with 1 abstention.
Excuse me, are you saying there's 4 yes and 1 abstain?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, do we want to move on to, old business? Discuss updates to the building permit spreadsheet and review any new permits or closed permits along with permits that are beyond 2 years old that require an update letter from the property owner. Does everybody have a copy of that, Tony? Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm seeing the oldest, date granted would be Ethan Berry on 3/14/23.
Yeah, and his is actually a well, which is granted by environmental health agent or the environmental health board. So we don't have to do anything with anything that's wells. On here, we're just tracking them.
I don't think any of the other ones are 2 years.
So none of them are 2 years. I know Figurado's garage is in progress. 904 Alpine, Chris is still trying to get a contractor will
Excuse me.
work on that one. And then current ones, until I get some more information from Tom, as a building inspector. You know, Corey and Stephanie's, they're working on trying to get some bids. But one of the 3 storage containers is in. Thomas Kelly is in process. I think Bill's supposed to be working on it. Joyce Scott, I think is done, but until Tom does it. So. And then Kramer's on the front porch. They built the front porch. I don't know.
Wasn't the permit pending?
This permit was strictly the front,
Walkway?
actually the deck. Not the- There was some, I know they talked to Tom about putting a porch over the top of it, and he has not granted that permit yet. I'm not sure that they get it.
Yeah, I think that's still pending.
The rest of them, there's nothing else outstanding.
Okay.
Gibbs is finished, that was one of them before it was kind of outstanding, but it's.
Does anybody else have any questions about the permit?
Jess has a couple of questions on 2024. Rupp well, is that the one that's completed? Down there, there's no address on it, so I don't know where it's located for sure. And then I'm pretty sure that one's complete, and also Waugh is complete. If it's the one there on 5th and State Street, I'm very sure it's completed.
It probably is, Jesse, but I know the well are actually, the permits for the wells have to go through environmental health agent and environmental board of health. They were added on this spreadsheet actually last year, I think, when I had Tom give me all the list of all of the building permits and well permits, and I put them on this spreadsheet. Technically, it's not the zoning board to even address anything with the wells.
Yes, but just for following, I was, just trying to decide which wells it was for sure. But if we have if we have an address
Laws, I
along
believe
the
it's
name,
complete. I'm sorry, go ahead.
if we have an address along with the name, sure clarifies the follow-ups, just for keeping track and for history purposes.
I'll just tell you, I put on there what I was given.
Yeah. Well, in the old ones on 23, Beery has one listed there, and it's a well, and I'm quite sure that that one's complete as you go up River Trail on the right, where the two living container type property is.
I'd have to look at the block 11, lots 12 and 315.
Yes.
I thought, I'm not just going off memory here, I thought he had two well permits. One was for the area you were talking about, and this other well permit, I think, was where his house was gonna be built.
Yes.
But I'd
And
have to,
I yeah.
I'd have to go back.
I don't know which one's which for sure, but the older one, my understanding was where the campers were a year ago, and then the one above it in 24 was for his new home location on the creek side of River Trail. But I don't know that. I was just asking clarification. No problems.
Okay.
And then at the very bottom, we have Molly Gibbs' place over there on River Street as complete. And in the same breath, Daniel's barndominium on Quartz Lane, somewhere about 320 Quartz Lane, is complete by my understanding, but it's not showing up on the sheet at all.
Ed, you got record of that somewhere?
I'm trying to get back to it. Going back to the old self file, maybe just a second. Yeah, I'm showing the Daniels was complete, but I don't have a date when Tom told me it was complete.
Yes, that's my understanding. It's complete.
So, that's why that one's not on it, because it should have shown as complete of the last update. Molly's on the last update was not shown as complete. So as they're completed, when I do the PDF file, I'm taking them off of the spreadsheet, so we won't keep.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Any other questions on building permits?
I do not.
Okay, can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Anyone doesn't have any more questions?
This is Ed, I'll move with adjourn.
I
Just
second that.
seconds.
You got beat, Jesse.
Okay, I'll take second place. Oh, I'm so happy for you guys to meet and take care of this and let me be on Zoom, even though the last 10, 15 minutes have been blank, but I know what you look like.
Well, you're gonna owe me big, Jess.
You need to vote on that adjournment.
Yeah. We have, everybody in favor of adjournment? Say aye.
Hi.
Aye. 5-0. We're good. Meeting adjourned.
Fantastic. Good night.
Good night.
Next.